Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Right. Can anybody tell me what we talked about last lesson?
Last class we talked about Changbai mountains.
About Chombi mountain and mountains, remember? The area it is. Now, where is Chombi mountain
大家还记得
located?
长白山的位置在哪里吗？ It's in Jilin province.
It's in Jilin province, yes? Is it all in Jilin province?
Part of it is in Jilin province.
Yeah, part of it is. Yeah, remember, it's a mountain, it's separated,
countries.
within two countries. Now, like we said, Chombai Mountain is in Jilin province, okay? Now, we've talked about Jilin province a lot, and we've also mentioned other things, but what is commonly found around the area of Chombai Mountain?
You mean the plant?
Yeah.
那大家还记得在长白山附近能够发现的植物有什么吗？ I think the most important one or the most common one is ginseng.
Is ginseng, yes, and ginseng is very expensive because it has a lot of healing powers and it is a good source of income for our province as well. So, next question. What is Chombai Mountain? What is it?
那大家还记得长白山的地貌类型是什么吗？ Last class you mentioned about it's a volcano.
Yeah, it's a volcano, okay? But it's a mountain, yes?
It's a mountain formed by the volcano.
Yeah, pretty much what it is. Yeah?
Okay.
So, as we know, the mountain is a volcano. Is the mountain active?
The mountain is not active.
It's not active for now, okay? For now.
Dormant.
Yeah, it is dormant. It last exploded in the 1702, I believe, was the last time it erupted. But, as we said before, it still is a volcano. So, there is a chance of it to erupt sometime in the future. But for now, it is a dormant volcano.
Dormant.
Okay. Now, as we look here, Chumbai Mountain is located in the southeast of Jilin province, okay? The southeast. Between the latitude and longitude, okay? Now, with a total area of 1,964 square kilometers, okay? Square kilometers. That is a big area, okay? A very big area. And that area has lots of mountains, which is shared between two countries, okay? Shared between two countries. Now, going back to Chombai Mountain itself, how many peaks surround Chombai Mountain?
那大家还记得长白山有几个比较重要的山峰吗？ There are 16 peaks around Changbai Mountain.
Yes, there are 16 peaks around. Now, does anybody remember the highest peak?
白云 Peak.
How high was it?
2,000.
2,000, yes?
620.
91.
91.
2,691 meters high. Above sea level, yes, above sea level. And then the second one is 2,600 meters. And so on and so forth, okay? So we know the mountain is over 25 million years old. It's erupted 3 times and it's changed over this time. Okay? We have history of it from 4,000 years ago. Now, let's move on, okay? Now, when a volcano erupts, okay, masses of forces are happening. Not only is it just shooting volcanic lava up into the atmosphere, you've got gases released. Now, all this lava is coming from within the crust, and it's just exploding out of the earth. Yeah? Okay. Now, it will find a way to leave the crust and the mantle, and will explode out of a special chamber, and eruption will happen. And all this lava flows, will first explode into the atmosphere, but most of it will run down the sides of the mountains, and eventually, okay, it will keep going until it's lost its force. And eventually the lava will slow down and then start to cool down, okay? And after a while, this will turn back to a solid form. Now, this is great for us because with all these things happening, our land has changed, okay? We've got mountains, we've got hills, we've got plateaus, but valleys are formed by other things, okay? It's all linked together. But for us, when a volcano happens, later on in the future, we can then have fun, because from what happened millions of years ago has now given us the chance to go skiing, because we've got big mountains to ski on. We've got valleys where they're nice and flat because of the volcanic eruption. The lava's run down and eventually stopped, and we've got skiing resorts. Yes? So we can go skiing because of the terrain is very high, some of it's very flat, some of it's steep. It's very challenging for us. But this happened naturally, okay? We didn't create it. We could build our own ski slope, ski center, but we'd have to do everything by hand and machine. All this happened millions of years ago. And maybe in the future, Chombai Mountain could change again, okay? Could change again. So let's move on, okay? Now, Chombai Mountain is the birthplace, okay, of the Yalu River, Shenghua River and Tumen River, the birthplace. So it started from these rivers.
So these three rivers are the main rivers in this province.
Yeah, and that is why it's a good source of water, especially for Chombai Mountain, because it is a dormant volcano full of water, okay, full of water. Now, as we can see, we've got winter in Jilin province. It is very cold. Summer is very good for us, okay? But climate, okay? Climate. This is something we need to talk about. As we said, winter is long and cold, okay? Long and cold. Summer for us, depending on the year, is actually quite short. And as we've experienced over time, it's not as hot as before. Okay? So it's actually getting cooler. The same as winter for us is getting warmer. Yeah? When I first come to China, I arrived in Changchun and in the old airport, and it was minus 35. But now, according to weather reports, it's getting warmer and warmer. We do not experience minus 35 anymore. We only experience minus 28, maybe 29.
Sometimes maybe 30, 31 or 32.
But very rarely, because climate change is happening all the time. Now, so if we went to Chombai Mountain in winter, we'd have to dress up very warm, yes? Because it's very cold. Plus, the altitude of the mountain would make it even colder. Right, so in the summer, we could go to the mountain, shorts, t-shirt, but we would still need to take some sort of jacket, just in case, because of the altitude, the wind will be cooler. Now, Chombai Mountain in spring is very windy, very windy. Now, as we said, mountains can change, and wind is a big factor in chipping away at the mountains, okay? Now, we are currently in autumn, okay? Autumn. Now, Chombai Mountain is relatively high, okay? It's not the biggest mountain, it's not the smallest mountain. But within autumn, if you go there, you may not be able to experience the great views because the climate around the mountains at that time period is mostly foggy, okay? Foggy, so it's very damp, and you won't be able to see all these scenic views, okay? So the average temperature can be between -7 and 3 degrees. But if you go there in winter, it will be extremely cold, okay? Extremely cold. So be very, very careful. Now, with Chombai Mountain, okay, we know from previous lessons that ginseng is grown there. It's a natural plant that is grown there, okay? So let's think, okay, if ginseng grows there and the mountain's tall, there must be lots and lots of animals that live there, yes?
Yes.
So, just out of curiosity, how many different types of animals do you think live there?
Hundreds.
Hundreds? Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess at all, because records show that there are roughly about 1,225 different species. Yeah? Different species living around Chombai Mountain. So we can't just say like birds, we break them down and to other animals and break them down and again, but these are all different. So all different frogs, spiders, this, that, the other, but species, okay? So there's over 1,000 species live there. Now, with that amount of animals, okay, being in this place, they range from all sorts of animals. Some are very big, some are small, some are dangerous, that could even kill you. But some of them have special powers. Okay? Now, I don't mean they can fly or do anything. Now, some of them have these powers, okay? They are protected. Yeah? The government has said that we will protect these species. They're so rare, just like pandas. Yeah, your national emblem, the panda, is protected by everything, okay? Now, there are 43 species that are key to the national chosen by the government what animals should be protected. So 43 have been chosen out of 1,225 species. So, what do you think these animals are? Any ideas?
These animals? The key protection means that it's very important, right?
Very important. So much important, like a panda. You know, because China is famous for the panda. But we know the panda is almost extinct. Almost extinct. Now, due to whatever reason, pandas do not, in the wild, mate. Okay? They don't. So if this doesn't happen, there will be no pandas. The species is then gone. Okay? But luckily, with China, they have managed to start to rebuild the panda population. Okay? So if they can do that with a panda, they can do that with other animals, yes?
Yes.
So to help these animals that are very rare, they need to be protected, yes?
Yes.
So it means we can't eat them, shoot them, catch them, yeah? They have to be protected, okay? So let's have a look at some of these, okay? Right. The Amur tiger.
东北虎
Okay.
Chinese.
That, yeah, Amur tiger, but you're just saying it's a northern tiger.
东北
Northeastern
East.
tiger.
Yeah.
Does that mean you have a southeast tiger?
Yeah. It's called 华南虎.
Okay. So we have this tiger has been chosen, okay, to be protected because it must be very rare. There could even be less than 20 in the world. So you have to protect them. Okay? Now, like I did say, out of the 1,225 species, some of them are big and some of them can kill you.
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine walking around Chombai Mountain and meeting that? Could you imagine coming face to face with a tiger?
It's too much.
Yeah? Now you think how populated these areas are. And I bet you most people have never heard of or never seen this tiger in the wild because it's so rare. You probably won't see it. So we have to protect them. So we've got tigers, okay? We've got other animals like leopards and things. Birds, for example. We've even got deer. Okay?
梅花鹿
Okay? Now, why do we protect deers? There must be a reason. Yeah? Because this one is different from the others. Okay? Look at the size of its horns or antlers, okay? Yeah? Commonly, these are taken from animals and used for medicine, okay?
Yeah.
But another one, it's running out. We all see it as a deer, but like I said, species, different types, okay? It may just look like a deer, but there are many different types of deer, okay? Then we have other things, okay? So those are the protected ones. But we then break them down into other levels. You've got priority, like the panda is priority, the tiger is priority. But then we have a second level, okay? So what animals are these, okay? These are some of the small animals, okay? Still, some of them can kill you. For example, you have a jackal. You have a musk deer, a brown bear. Could you imagine meeting a brown bear?
Still too much.
Yeah? You've got red deer, you've got lynx, you've got blue sheep, okay? We've got eagles, we've got birds, as in sparrows, okay? These animals are small, but if we take away their environment, they are not going to survive. So we need to look after these. And unfortunately, like this little fellow, he has something that most people used to want many years ago. Fur. Now, back in the past, it was very popular for people to go out and buy fur coats, especially ladies or men, or even hats, okay? So fur is now a bad thing, so we've moved on. But we must protect these animals. So are there any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, see you next time with Fun with Mark.